alt because when will you learn? When will you actually learn what I'm about to tell you right now? Because it's driving me nuts. We've proved this over and over and over again. Yet people just anyway, let me go back, let me start over, and let me tell you what I'm saying. So yesterday, or was it the day before? I think it was yesterday. I said that Bitcoin will likely break a certain support area and we may go down to the mid 70s, around $75,000, which we did. And as soon as we bounced, I actually said we have to pass certain resistances in order for it to be a V-shaped recovery. It's better to go down fast rather than slow. And I said we need the week to play out. But as soon as some people saw a little bit of a movement in Bitcoin and a couple of good news, everyone, oh, Bitcoin's turning, everything's changing, now we're up and now, bull from now, and so on. When will you learn? Stop listening to news. There's news for the masses and there's news for the classes. You never get the news for the classes. You get the news for the masses and you act on it like everybody else. It gives you no advantage. Your best advantage is technical analysis. But even that, right now, I can't really dive in for you because I don't have a computer because I'm renovating my house and studio. But I gave you certain things to look at. What did I tell you? 75K, bounce, see if we get above 80,000, where we were above 80,000, because I said if we break below, we're going to go to the 75K level. See if we break up on top, and then we can reevaluate. What did the price do? The price went down, bounced, and before it even got to 80K, without even testing the rejection, everybody was bullish, everybody was saying up only. When will you learn? All right, now, again, for Bitcoin right now, went to 80K and rejected. The likelihood of us going down to the low 70s is pretty high. Not saying we will. I confidently said we're going to go to the 75K level. Let's see what happens after that. But until we break above $90,000, roughly, and this might change over time, I am not going to call bull. Am I a bear? No. Do I think we're in a bear market? No. We're in a technical bear market, meaning short-term trend down, in an overall bull market still. But Paul, we dropped over 20K. That's the stock market. And even then, it's not, I don't agree with the 20% being the indication of a bear market. Yes, it's a technical bear market. Some people actually say 24%. It's how long you stay under. If you stay under 24% for long enough and you make rejections and you go down slowly, then yes, that could be called a bear market. But until then, somebody's asking me, what is my hair care routine? You mean pre-cancer or after? After I just shave it, man, and I still have a bit of an immune system, a bit of an immune problem, so I have some issues up there, but it is what it is, man. I'm confident enough to be okay with it. But regardless, let's move on, let's get serious again. Regardless, you want to break 90K to be bullish. Now, if we can at least get back into the range of 80 to 90K, we can reevaluate, look at volume, look at different stuff, different factors, and be able to anticipate a run and break of 90K. But until we make that support, there's no continuation, in my opinion, because then we have to retest the 100. But it goes in ranges. All right? Now, as I said, what am I expecting? Either we go down to the 75K level, come back up, reject 90, and go down again. The question is how fast we go down. Because if we go down slowly, there's more likelihood of a bear market. If we go down fast, there's more likelihood of a capitulation event. Capitulation avoids bear markets. Because right now, we have higher probabilities of entering a bear market, but if you capitulate, we have a capitulation event, and usually that is the price going down violently. That could actually void a bear market, right? So that's what we're looking at. Now, another thing, I want to give some advice today. I want to give you some advice because a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are worried. First of all, max fear is nowhere near, by the way. People are still bullish. A lot of people are still bullish. So I don't think we're turning around just yet. If we do turn around from here, I did call 75K, fine. We went to 74,600, good enough for me. But again, we have to break resistance. But you need to stop listening and yo-yoing. You got all these YouTubers and so-called experts. One day they're bullish, one day they're bearish, one day they're bullish, next day they're bearish. And it's not that they believe. There's three types of people that do this. Okay, when it comes to influencers, people that are doing it because they want views. What do I mean by views? If you give day trading technical analysis advice on YouTube, you're gonna get more views. Everybody's gonna watch you. You get people watching you every day because you can make videos every day. The problem with swing trading is you can't, because you work in ranges. You can do one video and technical analysis every week, maybe 2 weeks sometimes, maybe a month, right? Because you might be stuck in a range. But if you do day trading videos, it's normal. They do day trading videos so they can get views. The problem is you are not day traders. You're not going for 4 or 5% last time I checked, or 10% moves. You're going for a lot higher. You're in it longer. So you're swing traders and investors. So you shouldn't be watching all these YouTube channels because they just confuse you, because they get you emotional. Oh my God, golden cross here. Oh my God, this, that. Oh my God, bear trap. Yeah, on the fucking hourly. It doesn't make sense for you to yo-yo like that and go crazy. We're in a range. Everybody was telling you one day bullish, one day bearish. When I was telling you we're in a range from 90 to 100K and we have to see which way we're going to break. As soon as we broke out under 90K, I said, okay, probably low 80s. Take the, I gave you the trade, went down to the low 80s, give you another trade to the mid 75s. Very simple shit. Why are you sweating bricks every day? But these people knowingly do this. Why? Because if you make technical analysis videos like me, and it's the same thing every single day for weeks, you're going to get bored. I'm not going to get views. It's very simple shit, right? So the issue is, that's one, they knowingly do it. But then you have everybody else that, AJ, can you stop repeating that question? If you do it one more time, I will ban you. Like, I'll get to the questions in a bit. No need to spam. As a matter of fact, I advise you delete some of them right now so you're not spamming the chat. But the other people that are just yo-yoing are just copying everybody else, and they don't even know. And most people don't even know how to do technical analysis. You know how many times I see people calling different candles or saying different things when it comes to candlesticks or technicals and patterns, and they're completely false? Oh my God, there's a hammer here, and it's at the top of a fucking trend or a mid-trend. Hammers are only at bottom of trends or ranges or as you're going down, right? There's different things like this. So make sure you get your information where you want to get it from. And second of all, make sure you're a day trader. If you're a day trader, you're probably not watching these videos anyway. You don't have time, you're day trading. But let's say you were. Make sure you understand time frames, right? So what am I seeing? We rejected 80K. Altcoins look like they're going to run. We talked about this last time. They want to run, but they can't. We have to have a bullish narrative, especially for Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's under 80K. It's rejecting 80K. It has to break 80K with conviction, preferably with volume, and stay above that in range. And then once it ranges from 80 to about 90K, we can reevaluate and see if it gets close to 90K, what kind of volume, what kind of rejections, and so on. But until then, stop going crazy. Stop stressing. Stop stressing. Sometimes it's best to sell with a loss. So I sold my first batch at 104,000. Then when we went under to about 98 to 94,000, I sold again. And recently I just sold close to the mid-80s level. For the simple reason I was expecting more down. We're staying too low. We're hitting that lower support line of 80K psychological too many times. The more you hit a certain support area, the weaker it gets. So I was expecting the drop and I took some profits. Well, even if it wasn't profits, a lot of you tell me, Paul, I don't have any profits. How could I take profits? Well, sometimes you have to realize you have to take a loss and live to fight and live to trade another day. So it's all about risk and stuff like that. And doubling down while you're losing, oh my God, this coin went down 50%, I'm going to buy the dip. Then, okay, fine, you bought the dip. Then it goes down even more. You buy the dip again. Then it goes down even more. And you buy your dip into the bear market. It's stupid. You have to have a plan. Why are you buying coins that keep on going down, especially compared to Bitcoin? If you were doing for Bitcoin, I understand. I'll give you that. If you were like DCAing, even though I don't believe in DSAing, I believe in DSAing. If it's in Bitcoin, I get it. But a lot of you doing Tesla, this, that, what are you doing? Why are you buying the dip? Why are you becoming poor buying the dip? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. And I gave a very good example the other day. It's like if you had a store, you have to think of business, you have to think of trading like a business, whether you're an investor or trader. You have to think it like a business. If you're an investor, you have to think it like buying a store and investing in product. If you're a trader, you have to think like you're selling a certain thing in the store. So it's the same thing. If you're selling 3 types of dresses in a store, a clothes store, a red dress, a yellow dress, and a green dress, and people are buying the red dress, but yes, maybe sales, are less than they usually were, but red dresses are still more in demand. Would you buy more yellow dresses if they're not selling just because your manufacturer dropped the price and gave you a special for 50%? And let's say you did. Let's say you saw, okay, you know what? I'm going to buy this yellow dress because it's on sale so I can sell it and make more money. But then no one's buying that shit, so the manufacturer drops the price even more. And then drops it even more. What are you going to do? Stock up on yellow dresses? You're going to have a store filled with yellow dresses? Well, you know that people want the red dress, but now you don't have capital to buy the red dress, so it's opportunity cost. What are you doing? Right? Like it's pure logic here. It's still, and I don't get how a lot of people, I'm ranting in these videos, by the way, these are new live stream videos. The reason is I can't live stream on my computer and show charts or anything. So I'm doing these live streams, these kind of educational, if you will, videos because I'm renovating my house. So if you take a look, for example, this is what's going on in my apartment right now. It's mayhem. It's mayhem. My little dog over there just got his seat back over there. But yeah, we're painting this place. We're going to do an Italian design on this wall over here. We're going to change everything. Yeah, look at this. It's just a fucking mess. But yeah, we're renovating the kitchen. We're going to change the kitchen. We're painting all the way down. And we got different rooms. I'll show you my studio real quick. I don't know. So we're renovating. This one's almost finished. My studio is almost finished. Needs some work still. Let me try and open the lights because it's like this. But yeah, so the studio is almost ready here. We have some fine, some small bits and bobs to go by and everything, but it's going to be ready again soon. Yeah, we're working it. We're working it, if you know what I mean. Let me just close this light again without getting electrocuted. And yeah, we have to come down here, change the bathroom, the gym, have to fix up the gym. Look what's going on in the gym. Mayhem's going on in the gym right now. But yeah, we're going to change all this stuff, right? So anyway, lots of work to do. And that's why I'm not live streaming with charts or anything. But once I get it should be a couple of days, and I'm going to start doing more TA videos for everyone. I'm not trying to swing. If I could do it every day, the problem is it's going to be the same range, there's no point, so I'll just do it when it makes sense, or every few days maybe. But we'll see how we do it. I already made some thumbnails for this. You got this Superman thumbnail, which you're seeing, or some sort of variation of it. That usually is going to mean that the market is in a range and we have to wait what it sees. When it's a red fireman, whatever, bear sort of vibe, it's leaning bearish or the news is bearish. People are saying it's bearish, depending on where I get more clicks. Because you have to understand, maybe I want to go by the news, what everyone else is saying, or what I'm saying. I haven't figured that out yet. And then obviously I'm going to have like an astronaut going to space for the bull markets or when I'm bullish. But there's going to be the same thumbnail. It's probably going to have a live thing on it. It doesn't have one right now because I can't fix it on my computer. I have to change it a little bit, but you get the drift. And then my weekly live streams will be my weekly live streams as normal. And I'll put out videos as well. Some nice, cool alpha videos like I used to do pretty soon. But yeah, I'll be doing that. And also, if you guys are interested in learning from me personally, I am releasing a course. It's the early bird price right now, but it's not your typical course. As a matter of fact, there's no other course out there like this one. And not because I'm better than everybody else. There literally is no other course like this one, as in it's unique because it's called Invest, Trade, and Think Like the Crypto Factor. So you learn how to invest in crypto. You learn how to trade crypto. You go into candles and all that stuff like I trade personally, but it's more for swing traders and long-term trading, although you can use it for day trading. I don't recommend it. And you learn how to think like the crypto factor. These stories I'm giving you about the shop, like the business, how to think about it with green and yellow dresses. How there's three sides to a coin: the heads, the tails, and the edge. And you have to stand on the edge and look at all three sides. Well, how do you apply that in crypto? How do you apply that? And so on. And basically just, about how I tackle the markets. And if that's something and you also get the factor line, which is my own indicator. It's actually ready. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, but you have to know how to use it. It shows you where to DSA instead of DCA. What's DSA, Paul? It's dollar swing averaging. So you don't dollar cost average, let's say every week you just buy, but you buy the swings whenever it goes down. And it's just been more effective, and it's been more effective for me. There's certain rules to it that you have to follow, which is why that's also in the course. And listen, you don't need to buy the course to learn what I have to say. I mean, I'm making videos. I'll do technical analysis videos, as I said. I'll try and help you. But if you want to support me, but also learn from me, there's a lot of hours. I've been working on it for months. I'm going to be updating it over the year, answering questions, putting it in the course. The indicator comes with a lifetime. If you buy the course, you get the indicator a lifetime. The indicator is $129 a month, by the way, but if you buy the course, you have it free forever. I'm doing things, just check it out, see if it's for you. But I think I talked about it too much, but that's what I'm going to be doing. Oh, I'm so tired. Let me just lie down a little bit. And I just want to answer your question. So these live streams are kind of like chilling, answering your questions, telling you what I see in the markets, but mostly answering your questions like I usually do. So let's start with your questions. Yasu Filemu, how are you, Nick? Andras says, let me put my glasses on, I can't see shit. I'm getting old. Someone making fun of my hair. Dude, I got a problem with my eyesight, man. You think I'm worried about my hair? I'm 48, man. Okay, Andras says, I'm afraid that the S&P 500's decline has just begun. Do you think it will continue or not? If it goes down faster and harder, it will indicate a capitulation event. And if it does a capitulation event, it's usually the bottom. And not only that, if that happens, it voids a bear market. This applies to Bitcoin. This applies to the S&P 500. I'm not sure. We got over 20% in the S&P yet. I'm not sure because I can't see charts. But again, if it goes down more violently and hard, it's a good chance we'll get a capitulation. That would be awesome. That's usually when money managers and everybody sells. All right? So let's see what happens. But 5,000 on the S&P 500, if my memory serves, nice psychological number. If we get under that and that becomes resistance, like if we dip under and that becomes resistance and starts going down, if it goes down fast, it's good. If it goes down slowly, it's a problem. It's a bear market. Bear markets are usually slow. A lot of people get this confused, and they don't, like most of the time, more often than not, bear markets are slow declining. Fast declines are usually bounce opportunities, and they're usually just corrections, if that makes sense. AJ says, so advice to invest in crypto meme coins. I would not invest into meme coins right now. I would be looking at Render. I would be looking at Sui. I would be looking at Solana if Bitcoin gets above resistance and ranges. Or if it ranges in the upper 70s, let's say, for example, and we see an alt season, which I doubt it at this point, but it is possible. But still, I would go for the big coins. Why? Because all these leading coins have dropped enough to be worth buying. Why would you buy a meme coin when you can buy something that can 5, 10x, but there's more certainty. And if we are in a bear market, you at least have the opportunity for it to bounce back. There's no reason whatsoever to buy a meme coin right now, in my opinion. I mean, if you're doing that, then good luck, but I'm not touching them. And I'm not saying they might not go up and they might not do this and they might do that, but I don't trade on might. Might is not a strategy, okay? Thank you for retracting those messages, man. Respect. MILF Hunter, I don't speak Russian. Please speak in English. Gabriel, my man, long time no see. Brian, Paul, I stopped driving to go through the drive-through for lunch and smash the like. Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate the like. Hit that like button. Hit that like button no matter what you are doing. Crypto Dave says, you're the only one that has been on the money regarding time frame. Thank you. Please share that. Share that on Twitter. Let the people know. It would really help me out a lot, man. Also will help if you like this video, by the way. It's a button. I know it's hard sometimes. You have to stretch your finger. You have to put like energy to like move your arm, your shoulder. You know, your joints have to move so you can hit the like button. I know it's like, but please do it. It's like, you can hit the like button. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I hit the like button. You know, it's just try it, man. It'll be cool. Stelio says, Stavrothendas, also Greek, by the way. Facts. You're absolutely right, Paul. You look well. Thank you very much, man. Doing my best, bro. Doing my best. Hamza saying, hello, Paul. Do you think Ethereum can go below the top 3? It can, but will it? And you have to understand that right now there's a war going on, and we have to see. Let me tell you a secret, and this is also in the course in more detail, but I'll give you the outline here in this video, because I don't want to over talk about something and then not answer other people's question. When I called all the mini alt seasons last year, I did it because I saw the narrative shift from Ethereum to Solana. And Solana, I used Bitcoin versus Solana for altcoins, for alt seasons. But I knew it was going to be mini alt seasons, right? And then with Meme Mania, second win with Solana, it was pretty easy to spot. Now, you have to understand that in every bull market up to now, we would be looking, or as of late, we'd be looking Bitcoin, Ethereum to see when the shift goes to altcoins. Or some people look at the big 3. I was saying every single year, I was like, we look at Bitcoin, Ethereum until we don't. Because I knew at some point there's going to be another coin that will show the biggest narrative where most people are going to move. And I said it doesn't need to become second, right? It doesn't need to become second. So with that said, I'm looking at Bitcoin Solana this year for mini alt seasons or alt season. But maybe next year it will be SWI. We don't know that. So will Ethereum lose the top place? There's a chance that SWI and Solana temporarily overtake Ethereum. Maybe not this year. Maybe Solana has a chance. Maybe not this year for SWI. We'll see. XRP might do it. XRP's done it before briefly. Maybe this time it will maintain. We don't know yet. But I do believe that if XRP goes above Ethereum, I think Solana will overtake XRP. So I still think XRP will be third if it does go up, if that. But that's just me. Give me a second. Hold up. Ugh, that's better. I got hot. I had to take off my sweatshirt. Hi, beautiful background. Yeah, thank you. Imitos. I have the beach on the other side. But you can't really see it because there's buildings in front. But it's pretty open. What about Turkey wearing a red dress? What about a turkey wearing a red dress? Oh, you're going... Stoshi's talking about the turkey story yesterday with red dresses. Yeah, well, yeah. Touche. Where do I live? A couple of places, man. This apartment is in Glyfada, Greece, but I also live in Dubai. I'm actually moving there, partially there anyway. But I have another house up in Kineta near Megara and so on. I'm actually thinking, thank you, it's beautiful. Thank you. I'm actually thinking about so I'm renovating it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to sell it, rent it, or keep it yet. We'll see. What is the background? That's a Mythos Mountain. Have you been to Valhalla? Yes, many times. With crypto regulations incoming, institutional adoption, ISO standards 20022 going live, I don't see a future market for coins like Bitcoin that don't solve real world problems. Well, that's a you problem, not a Bitcoin problem. That's because you don't understand the value of Bitcoin. You don't understand the value. And I get it, because your information probably comes from influencers like XRP influencers, or people that are altcoin maximalists, or whatever you want to call them. So Bitcoin is sound hard money. And it has sound hard money principles, excuse me. And the magic with Bitcoin is this. Number one, it's decentralized. It's the only decentralized chain, or let me rephrase that. The only proof of work decentralized chain with proof of concept. Right? So all you Casper people, oh, what about Casper? It's what proof of concept. Let's give Casper some time. Right? I love Casper, but let's give it time to prove it's what it does. And also people need to use it, because so far they haven't. But Bitcoin has its cycle. It's been going down and up, and it's always coming up above its previous highs. And people are using Bitcoin. Now, let's say you don't use, let's say you are in Africa. Let's say you are in different places around the world where you don't have access for banks. A lot of people are not allowed to have banks. Well, Bitcoin is a store of value, and you can use it to move money around and accept money. Oh, but XRP is so much faster. Yes, but it's centralized. It is. I don't care what you say. You can't keep on saying it's centralized, it's not centralized, it's centralized, it's not centralized. It's going to do the CBDC, but it's not centralized. Stop shitting on me. Stop shitting on yourself. It's fucking centralized, and it's supposed to be centralized for it to work. Because if you want it to be if you want banks to use it, it has to be centralized. They have to have control. There's no if, buts, or whats about it. And which is great. It's fast, it works for that. The problem is, what about the unbanked? It's not decentralized. So Bitcoin also has hard sound money. XRP does not have those principles at all. And if you want to understand what sound hard money is, you have to understand what money is and what inflation is. And you're not going to get that with XRP when half of it, more or less, is held by Ripple Labs. Because even if they hold only 20% over time and they sell the rest, that 20% it still gives them maximum vote and is still centralized, if that makes sense. So in order to understand sound hard money, you have to understand the history of money. And basically, you have to understand seashells. Paul, what are you talking about? Seashells? Yes, seashells. So let me show you something, right? Let me give you a story here. Let's walk to the other side of my house or my apartment. Let me turn some lights on here as well, because I can't see shit and I kill myself. So back in the day, long time ago, tribes, money could be anything, right? And sorry about the mess in the house. This place is crazy. Money could be anything. All right? But at some point, and I'm in the dark right now, excuse me, let me just get to the light and I'll continue my cool little story. People used to use different things for currency, and one of those things were seashells. Not seashells like this, special seashells, rare seashells. But you have to understand, in order for them to get these seashells, it was very hard. It was extremely hard. But this was currency, they represented something. And they used that as a medium of exchange. The problem is when the West, or whenever you want to call them, different people from outside, more advanced civilizations found these tribes, They came with gold, money, whatever, to trade with them because they had goods that they wanted. But these tribes didn't care about all that. They cared about seashells. Well, that was a relief. They have a lot of seashells because they were more technologically advanced. They can go and deep, get these special seashells that were rare, and started buying all their shit. The problem was, because seashells were becoming more common, the prices, they started losing their worth. Inflation, they were flooded with seashells. Then as they got more technologically advanced, they could get them seashells from themselves. They lost their rarity. It's inflation, right? And you have to understand that proof of work, a lot of you say, you hear a lot of these influencers say, oh, proof of work it's so expensive, it's bad, there's so much electricity, why? We could just do proof of stake for free. Well, that's the issue. See, gold has sound hard money principles. Why? Because gold is expensive to mine. So when the gold price goes up, it's worth mining. But when too much gold comes to circulation and goes down in value, it's suddenly not worth mining anymore because it gets too expensive to mine it. So it self-regulates itself. It self-regulates inflation. That's the magic of gold. Well, that's the magic of proof of work. It self-regulates. Does that make sense? So that's one of the reasons Bitcoin is sound hard money. Plus, you can send it anywhere, take it with you, and so on. Let's say you want to move out so much money and go to another country. You're not going to do it with an altcoin. It could be worth something completely different by the time you get in that country. Yes, you could do the same thing. You could make the same argument with Bitcoin. But when you invest in Bitcoin, you do that knowingly that the price can go down, but you expect it to go up over time because of proof of concept. So it's very different. So once you start understanding that, you start understanding why Bitcoin, it's what a lot of people say it's flaws, it's actually features. That's why proof of work works, right? Then you have a decentralization, right? You have the miners, you have the nodes, and you have the users. And in order to change something, it has to be consensus. Everybody has to vote for it. First of all, a dev has to approve even what you want to change, put it in to be voted on. You vote on it, and enough people voted, you'll make that change. If not, there's a fork. And there's 2 Bitcoins, and the other Bitcoin you can go buy fucking, I don't know, whatever Bitcoin you want, and the one that is Bitcoin will prevail, like it's done many times in the past. So all these flaws on Bitcoin are actually features, if that makes sense. So you have to understand that, and that's when you understand Bitcoin. And the other thing that a lot of people don't understand is like, why should I buy Bitcoin? It can only go up 2, 3x or 5x. Something else might go up 20, 30, 50, 100x. Why should I buy Bitcoin? I won't be rich with Bitcoin. If I buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, I can make 2,000, 3,000 now. Why should I do that when I can buy something else? No, I get that. And you can trade that way. But if you take profits in Bitcoin from your altcoins, over time, you protect yourself because Bitcoin goes down less than other coins. So when Bitcoin, let's say you make $5,000 and you put $2,000 or $3,000 in Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes down 10%, everything else will go down 50, 60%. We've seen this shit, right? So you can actually use Bitcoin to still be in cryptocurrency, exposed in crypto, and also have a hedge against the economy as sound hard money. But also you can even use that Bitcoin to buy the dips to altcoins. So it's not that you don't understand how to use Bitcoin, what Bitcoin is, and that's why everyone gets confused. So I took profits from altcoins to Bitcoin in December, and I bought dips using that Bitcoin, right? So, but I'm still exposed to crypto. I'm still in my safe haven, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of strategies. I go through all this in my course, by the way. There's so much more to this than that. I'm just trying to simplify. But next time people say, you know what about seashells, gold tag? Yeah, it's just a seashell. That's all Bitcoin is. But it works. Let's see, what else do we have? More questions. By the way, ISO 20022 is just an upgrade to Swift. It's nothing crazy. ISO 20022 and Swift is a messaging service. ISO 20022 is an upgrade that implements the capability of actually having more messages within one message as an order. It's not just XRP. There's a lot of ISO 20 tokens out there, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a messaging service for banks. And this is why I don't understand. People think that XRP will go to the moon just because it's ISO 20022 or banks might work with Ripple. Why? It's a messaging service. Oh, you think they're going to be sending XRP, like converting to XRP and sending it? No. They'll do it in USDT on XRP maybe, or their stable coin on XRP, Ledger or whatever. You don't need XRP. Oh, but you need it for the transactions. Well, not really. You don't need one XRP for a transaction because XRP has drops. And I'm not sure, is it 100 or 1,000 drops in each XRP token or a million? I can't remember how many drops there are within each XRP token. So it's minimal. So the math doesn't align. In my opinion, I might be wrong. I'm not saying it's not going to go up. It's just not going to go to $10,000 like everyone's saying. Why? There's also market cap involved. Oh, but Paul, market cap doesn't matter. Well, it does, in the sense that for XRP to be $1,000, I think that's 4 times or 8 times the market cap, the GDP of the world. I don't know, man. It sounds a bit steep for me. That's was it 10,000? It's 4 times if it's, yeah. So it's about that. Did you just say you doubt altcoins? No, I did not say that, Max. I didn't say that I doubt altcoins season will happen. Please listen again and make sure you understand what I'm saying. And don't say things, I said things that I didn't, because I did not. When will I release the course? Next few weeks. But the price will go up. Right now, it's an expensive course. It's not for everyone. It might not be for you. It's $1,297 right now. That's early bird, and the price will go up. So I'm not sure it's for everyone, man. And it's not for everyone. It's something very different out there. Yeah, I mean, you can learn trading for free. You can buy books, right? You don't have to buy the course. This is more like invest, trade, and think like the crypto factor with my indicator. It's very different. Agent Shredbot, what up, buddy? Hardest working Paul in the business. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you. Andra says, what do you think about buying Ethereum? Is it worth buying right now or not? Buying Ethereum is, I'm not sure if it's worth buying right now, this particular second. But there is a case for it at some point when the markets are turning. So again, we have to see where the markets are going to go. What's the range? Right now, Bitcoin's at resistance. Let's see if it has another. I told you, wait this week out. See how it goes. And then if we capitulate and find the bottom, Ethereum might be worth buying. What's my opinion on Sui? I'm very heavy on Sui. It's holding up well, and I think it's going to do very well. How long do you think before everything starts pumping? We might get a V-shaped recovery until the summertime now, as in we'll know by the end of this week. And then go down in the summertime, come back up towards the end of the year. Or we might continue going down slowly and let's see what happens after the summertime. Those are my 2 biggest probable scenarios. They're not the only scenarios. That's what I'm looking at. But again, no point in trying to guess what's going to happen. Show me the charts, I'll tell you the news, and we'll trade off that. See, it's stupid things like this that I get mad at. No bull run for 4 years. How do you know? Has it ever happened before? How old are you? Don't agree with you. While it's possible, it's not really probable. And it's also stupid because you're basing it on a term of a president, and that's just dumb. I'm waiting from price to back to 76K to buy. Done trading inside ranges, getting beat up. Well, I never told you to buy inside the range. I told you to buy breakouts of ranges and make them support so you could actually get in. How much do you predict one Bitcoin in 10 years? I don't make predictions like that. I made a perfect prediction in 2022 that this bull market, Bitcoin will be to 100 to 140,000 by the end of 2024, and I even predicted that we're gonna have all-time high tested before the actual halving. So I made a perfect prediction there. I also said the top of Bitcoin will be at end of 2024, beginning 2025. or we'll go. It will be the top, a temporary top. We'll get into a massive bear market, then we'll go up again. So let's see what happens. I'm losing my breath. Whew, I don't know why. Altcoins are the future, the entire cryptosphere, and I happen to know which altcoins are the future. Then why are you here? Why don't you just go buy them and become a multimillionaire? Why just listen to a millionaire? Miners are working for Bitcoin, poor kids. I'm not sure what you mean. Any option on DGB? Opinion on DGB. You have to tell me what DGB is because I can't remember right now. I don't know why, and I can't really Google it because I'm on my phone. Casper this summer will implement stablecoins beautifully. I hope so. Let's see what happens, Chris. How low can Bitcoin go? As low as you can possibly imagine. There's no. It can technically go to zero. Well, almost zero. I doubt it. It's highly improbable, but it's very possible. If we go under 65K, we're probably in a bear market for sure. There's Bitcoin, and then there's everything else. Really, really agree with that. XRP will flip Bitcoin within 18 months. You're welcome. Yeah, fine. Have fun staying poor. Just because of that mentality. Because you don't understand what it takes to flip a Bitcoin. It's one thing to say it's going to go to $1,000, and it's another thing to say that it's going to flip Bitcoin. XRP has 100 billion tokens. Okay, Ripple owns half of them almost, roughly. There's 21 million Bitcoin. XRP can literally go to, how can I put this so you can understand this? XRP, I don't know how to give this example. Like it's too overwhelming to even think about it. Anyway, I'm not gonna indulge or bother. To me, XRP is too manipulated, like the beers manipulates. Yeah, it's more like Ripple is manipulating you guys with XRP, but yeah. How about Arbitrum, boss? Sui, I mean, pretty much. It's a good chain, but there's a lot of other chains. Which one's going to win? Every single chain pretty much does the same thing. They just niche into different things. It's just which one's going to have the community and the best tech and the best management of all these, right? I think Sui is going to blow Arbitrum out the water. But Arbitrum is being used for a lot of things. Is the bull run over, or is this a capitulation? This is not capitulation yet. We have not capitulated. We're close, but we haven't. Will Pepe do well? Pepe could do well. Let's see how it does. Hope you're well, Paul. Thank you for the second time, 32. Thank you, man. Gypsum King, not blaming you. It's me trading inside the range that just isn't working. Well, you should learn how to trade within a range. If it doesn't work for you, you're doing it wrong. What does trading in a range mean? Let's say you have a range from 90 to 100K. You buy around 90K when on certain factors, certain patterns, and you sell close to 100K. That's trading within a range. If you're just buying in a range and waiting for it to break out the range, you're doing it wrong. You're trying to day trade long term. Or that doesn't work that way. You have to pick your time frame to decide what you want to do. Can you share how many coins you have in investment wallet? I lost count, man, just because I have so much, but my core ones are not more than 20, 15 or 20. Hey, Paul, heard that altcoins are correlated with global liquidity. Yeah, I've heard this M2 supply and everything as well. It makes sense until it doesn't. It's just like the trend is your friend until it isn't. They could be correlated, but make sure causation and correlation sometimes is not the same thing. I'd rather just look at charts. It just tells me everything I need to know. Are there still many bars in Glifada? No, they mostly all closed down, Yazar. Yes, sir. I would definitely. Ghazi is happening. There's a lot in Glifada, but they're so higher class. If you've been down to Glifada, you probably came down to my bar club. I had jesters for a few years. And I had the biggest hip hop events in fucking Greece, actually, and live rock live rock events and everything. And I mean, I brought down a lot of people, right? DJ Lord from Public Enemy used to DJ there, right? And it was banging back then. But now I was like the last of the Mohicans. But after that closed, then there's nothing to do in the fall. It's all shit music. People don't really dance, don't really have fun. You know what's really nice though? If you go to Ghazi, there's a place called. I know this is gonna sound like I'm an old fucking fart right now. We'll get to the other ones in a second, but there's a place called Vinilio, and it's an old school discotheque with old school disco music. That's really fucking good, right? That's fun. You dance, you have fun. There's girls there, all ages. It's great. And then around that area, I walked around the area. There was this place called Dirty Blonde. I think it's a hip hop club, because I heard hip hop. And I think they still do R&B parties. And I'm surprised because I haven't been to the R&B party for over 10, 15 years. So maybe I go there and check it out next time. Trafalgar's is gone. Oh my God, Trafalgar's, dude. Trafalgar's is gone, dude. That was one of the first to go. Trafalgar's, oh my God. Do you remember that Mexican food we used to eat in Trafalgar's? You get shit drunk as well. My God, I met so many girls in the father at Trafalgar's. I used to have a girl at Trafalgar's and a girl across the road in Jesters and sometimes one in Sussex. And I used to go fucking talk. That was hilarious times, man. You're talking about American base days. Shit, man. Someone said Solana to 1,000. How high can Sui go? I think Solana can go to 1,000. I actually said that, by the way. Sui, we don't try to chart or see the price because we're in price discovery. There's nothing to go by. Stop trying to chart individual coins. Chart Bitcoin and sell when you have market reversals rather than individual coin predictions. They never work out. And yeah, you can do a few of them, but generally speaking, they don't really work out. Hit the like button if you got some good value so much, by the way. I work for likes. Yeah, the likes is my currency. You know how Bitcoin is? We were talking about seashells earlier on and the correlation between Bitcoin. Likes is my currency. So if you can afford a like, I would really appreciate it. Right? Because otherwise this video is for free. So yeah, there you go. One like there. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Fart coin will fly in the right direction. You mean like sideways? Because you're farting? Oh no, we'll see. It'll probably go up at some point. I actually like fart coin as a meme coin at some point. Josh says, I have 22 coins of wallet, reduce exposure risk, but many, yeah, it makes sense. Well, you start out with 3, 4, 5, but then you always go up, and then some are a loss, some are don't. You are not a loss. You take some risk. That's how it is. Your two best AI coin, Render and Tau. I would say Render and Beam, but that's just me. All right, thank you very much. Love you all. I appreciate you. If you don't have any more questions, if you have any more questions, I'll answer though. If you have any more questions, I'll answer. When will I release the course? In the next week or two, probably before I go to Dubai by the end of the month. It will be released at least as a beta version, workable. Factor line included will work. But over time, I will update each and every video and make it better with your feedback. So that's what I'm trying to do because it's a very big course. And there's a lot to it. So I don't want to make everyone wait for another 6 months. So what I'm doing is I'm releasing it. And then each part of it, I'll update it and upgrade it over time and give more value over time. And you have it forever. You'll buy it and you have it forever. That's the plan. But the price will go up soon, man. Would you say this is the toughest cycle you've seen? Every single cycle that you've been through will seem like the toughest cycle at the time. I wouldn't say this is the toughest cycle because I actually made some good calls. But I will say it was very unexpected. The rhyming factor was very unexpected. It is one of the times that I made the biggest mistake, something I always preached against, but even I was influenced. And I'll tell you what that is. So when I said end of 2024, beginning 2025, it's going to be the top of the Bitcoin, or we're going to get something that looks like a bear market. I was saying that all 23 and 24, but then Trump started winning, and I changed my projection. And I said we're going to have a dump before Trump, for those of you that remember that, or if it's not big enough, we're going to have an even bigger dump after Trump. And I said that. That part I called. And we did. I said 20% is not enough. We have to go at least 30 to 35, maybe 40% down in Bitcoin terms. That part I was right. What I was not right about was the prolonged stay under to at those levels. That got me by surprise as well. So even though I took profits and traded the swings, I could have done a lot better. So it's not the most difficult bull market. I would say it's the most unexpected bull market. But if you've been following this channel, we've been doing very well. I mean, we've been celebrating. We've been doing very well. So I can't say it's my hardest cycle. Also, my little dog. Also, you could call it the hardest cycle because by the end of the last cycle and before the beginning of this one, I actually called everything and traded while fighting cancer. And if you go back to my videos, you'll see what I mean. So during the last 3 years, I fought cancer for the third time. I had bone marrow transplant. I got out of hospital in 2022. I was begging you to buy at 16 point something K because I said 15.6K was the bottom. Called the bottom before I even got there, but then I had bone marrow transplant, chemotherapy and everything. So I was making videos from the hospital. Back then we had shorts that last for 7 days. So a lot of those were like shorts that like stories on YouTube. But you could still find 60-second ones and live streams from within the hospital, begging you to buy. What people did not know is while I was fighting cancer, the past few years I lost my sister, my mother, and my father. And when I lost my father especially, I was fighting cancer trying to save him at the same time, by the way. But when I lost him, all hell broke loose. So I ran out of money almost. I'm going to tell you something now a lot of people don't know. I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people don't know, and it's a lot of transparency I'm going to give you right now. Because I was actually broke at some point. And I had to borrow money. And this involves Bitboy crypto as well, so pay attention for those guys that want gossip out there. So I was in hospital, and I couldn't have visitors because I was getting bone marrow transplant. For some strange reason, I can't breathe. I think it's all this paint here. I'm having problems breathing, by the way, so forgive me. But I was in hospital, and meanwhile, they were chasing me to repossess my house. It was an auction. This very apartment I'm fixing right now, by the way. And I was fighting cancer. I was in hospital. I couldn't get visitors because of bone marrow transplant. It was very dangerous. I even lost my memory at some point in hospital. I made papers for my lawyer and my girlfriend to do whatever they want with everything I owned because I didn't have anyone else. So, and my lawyer still has power of attorney, by the way. So does my girlfriend. That's how much I trust them. And plus, you need somebody to be able to do something in case something goes wrong. But anyway, regardless. And they were repossessing my house, or trying to. I was fighting cancer. I remember I was in really bad shape. But I also had to support my girlfriend. She couldn't work because I wasn't, and so she wasn't working. She was just at home. Her mother, which was taking care of her, and my dog, plus all the bills and loans my dad have and me had, because we went through a lot of shit with my mother. Like, there's a lot of things you don't know about me. So I was rich, I was poor, I was rich, I was poor, I was rich again. Like I yo-yoed in my life. And I was down to about $20,000 to my name in crypto. And that was it. And I knew I couldn't spend that because if I spent that, I would not be able to trade my way back to the top as soon as I got out of hospital. And I knew I couldn't work after I got out of hospital because this is my second bone marrow transplant. I know what it's like. And this one was a lot harder, a lot worse because it was autologous, but it was CAR T, which was experimental. It was crazy. And it was a lot harder. I'm still on antibiotics. 2 years after, I'm still on pills. I'm still getting this immune thing and all that shit. So anyway, I almost died, by the way. Yeah. So it was very hard, and at 20,000, I couldn't spend that money, but I still needed to pay bills. My family had to eat, and I still needed to do shit. So this was extremely hard. And this was embarrassing, but I did it. I borrowed money. I started borrowing money and asked some help from certain people. So certain people, they don't want to be named, but I'll name a couple. Blockchain Girl was one of them. So Blockchain Girl helped me out. I referenced her in other videos as well. Go check her out. Go Blockchain Girl on Instagram. Find her. She's a really cute, little plump, black hair Greek girl. She's also a travel vlogger. Tell her that Paul, said that you helped him out and still appreciates every single day. And he thinks about you all the time. She didn't have to, but she sent me some money. She sent me, I think, $2,000. Never asked for it back. And then BitBoy Crypto, and this was back when shit happened with Celsius. I didn't have money, and shit was going on with his company that we didn't know about. And he really didn't have money. It said they didn't have that much money. Maybe he did. I don't know. I can't know what he had. But he sent me $1,500, and he told me he doesn't want it back. And that's why I stuck by BitBoy, and when he left, I stopped going on around the blockchain out of respect because he helped me. No one else really did, at least not with money. But it's not that. It's just he helped me, and it would be like a slap in the face if I stayed there, even though I enjoyed it and I wanted to stay there, and it was very good for my channel. So regardless of whether I agree with him or not, doesn't matter. Out of respect, even though we don't really talk. Like we've talked a couple of times since. Out of respect, I just like being. It's just me. I didn't feel like continuing. And then had a couple of friends. DJ Physique, the DJ, he used to work with Missy Elliott. He sent me a couple of grand. Then a friend, someone I used to work with, sent me about $8,000 and never asked for it back, which was really a big help. I don't want to mention it. He asked to stay anonymous. Maybe one day I'll say who it was because I really think this guy, he should, he's a fucking good guy, man. He's a fucking good guy. And we don't talk anymore, not that much anyway. We kind of separate our ways. But I used to work for him. I'm not going to tell you which one because you're going to figure it out. But you get what I mean. And then also, a couple of more people. They sent me. So I literally borrowed money. My sister sent me some money, which I sent some back as a Christmas gift. Yeah, I was on my own and I was doing everything. And then when I got out of hospital, I realized that I couldn't work C-suite anymore because I used to be a C-level, but I didn't have the energy or anything. I knew it was going to take time for me to bounce back. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to concentrate on YouTube. I'll trade my way up. Started trading my way up. Started making money, swing trading and investing. And then what I also did was I released I think the first thing I released was one-on-one coaching. Because I couldn't work for companies anymore. I had to get a job. I had to make money to invest in crypto. And that's when I started doing one-on-one coaching. And you can still do one-on-one coaching with me, by the way. It's down below. Now it's $497 to go one-on-one with me because I have a lot of demand. But back then, I think it was $297. I started at $297 an hour. And I started getting coaching clients and I started coaching people and, how to navigate crypto, how to do DeFi, how to do this, a lot of questions on my opinion on what's going on in the markets and so on. And that's how I started making money. And that's what I used for most of my expenses, but also investing a little bit, but mostly for my expenses. So I can actually, so it was mostly my expenses, very small investment, but mostly for my expenses and my day-to-day living. And then I didn't need to pull out money from crypto to use it, which meant I kept on reinvesting that money and, I didn't have to take money out of crypto. I could go from USDT to Bitcoin and so on. So I worked my way up. And then I made a course, the meme course, which back then was perfect timing and worked. Now it's outdated. I need to update it. Sold about 20 courses or so, nothing crazy. But then I started the VIP factor, the VIP group, and that's down below. It's now $69 a month. And what that would get you is you can ask me questions almost 24 hours a day. I answer them. Monthly Zoom calls where I answer your questions and we talk. My portfolio, what I do, and so on. So I have the VIP factor. It's down below as well. And I have about 50 people. It went up to 70 or 80 before bear market. A lot of people left. I'll be honest. I'll be transparent. But a lot of people stock and bought lifetime memberships. But a lot of people capitulated. And that's another reason I knew we were going to go lower. We had more pain, by the way. And that always happens with products in crypto. So right now I'm not getting one-on-one coaching, which is funny because right now is the time you fucking need it most. Why would you do one-on-one coaching when everything's perfect and anything you just throw a dart to will go up, and not right now? Right now is when you should be making strategies and do one-on-one coaching. I don't understand this mentality. It's like those two lines where one line is like empty and it has Bitcoin at 70,000 and then the other one is full at 100 and something thousand. Same thing with coaching, right? When people need it, people don't buy it. But anyway, regardless, I digress. And then I wanted to make a course. I made a course a couple of times. I started, but I felt like I was cheating people because most of that shit in the course was already out there. You're going to make either a course for beginners, a course for intermediates, or a course for advanced people. Advanced people is not really worth it. Yes, you can charge more, but advanced people don't really need courses. They're fucking advanced. So it's a harder sell. The intermediate to beginner, the beginner is the easiest one because there's a big gamma of beginners for courses. And then the intermediate's okay, but you don't make as much money as the beginners. But I didn't want to make a beginner's course because I'm bored. I hate beginner shit. So I tried to make a course a few times and failed miserably. Then I wanted to do trading courses, but I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get people to start day trading. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. There's courses out there. I felt like imposter syndrome. I didn't want to do it because you can learn trading out there. You can buy books. There are better traders than me out there. You can learn. But I wanted to make a course because it's passive income, and in bear markets you need to make money, and you need to make money in order to spend money. And like, if I'm making money from courses and products and books, which I am, I don't need to touch my crypto. Ever since the crypto market went down, because I don't have a course and stuff like that, I'm taking profits or even at a loss from crypto to be able to live. Because this is all I do. I don't work for anyone anymore. Remember, cancer? So I needed a product. I'm like, but I don't want to cheat people, and I want to do it. I want to enjoy doing it. I don't like doing things half-heartedly because I give up. And then it hit me. Invest, trade, and think like the crypto factor. And then as I was making that course, teaching people how to invest, how to trade with technical analysis, which I didn't do I started doing, but I didn't finish, and I'll tell you why. And then I started doing my philosophy and everything about how to trade and stuff, the thinking part. But then I had an offer from a cool Dubai company to make my own crypto indicator. And they said, how would you like to put the way you trade into an indicator so people can easily learn, use, and so on? I'm like, okay, how would that look? I do this, and they started taking what I do and how I trade, putting it into an indicator, and that's how the factor line came up. And the factor line is an indicator that it's an investment, medium to long term investment, and swing trading indicator. And there's nothing like that on the market at all. So now I'm like, holy shit! So I can do the indicator. So I put the indicator in the course. And the trading part of the course became the indicator. So I didn't know how to use the indicator, but then I realized I do a lot of candlesticks. So I started doing the candlesticks part. So now you have the invest, trade, and think like the crypto factor course. It took a long time to make because I added all this shit in, but now it's a fucking great course. And it's how I invest, trade, and think. There's nothing else like it out there. Because there's no one else like me out there. I'm not saying I'm better than everyone else. I'm not, but there's no one that does my style. It's my own thing. So now I don't have imposter syndrome. I actually give value, and I'm actually enjoying it. Does that make sense? And that's how I started after cancer. If you guys remember early 2023, a lot of times I was making videos and you see the videos, you see the edited videos, but you don't know I was sleeping the rest of the day and I was fucked up and throwing up and it was really hard, but I stuck to it because I had to. Because, and I love doing this, man. Like, you know, a lot of times you see these billionaires ask there's a question out there in different self-help books that says, if you were rich, if you were a multimillionaire, what would be your ideal job? I don't know what my ideal job would be, but I do know I would be doing more or less what I'm doing right now. I'd be talking to you guys, I'd be playing with my dog, going fishing, eating where I eat already, um, making, like, this is what I like doing. I'd be going live on YouTube. And it was a big revelation for me. I never back because I could have easily just gone to a company, $10,000, $15,000 a month. CMO, I was a CMO before. My last paycheck was $10,000 a month. Going for 10, 15 should be good. I didn't do it. I couldn't do it in the beginning. And I don't want the stress. I don't want the workload because a lot of work being a C-suite, C executive. I just want to enjoy my life, play with my dog, have fun, go fishing, and have time and work hard doing what I do, which I love and don't really consider it work. And that's about it, man. That's my story. Sorry about that if I bored you with that, but that's my story. Would you say this is the toughest? Okay, we already did that. Guess you are the only one who I follow said we might not be the same cycle as the past ones. Thank you very much, Ja. Can we pay installments for the course? I'm afraid not, man. I'm afraid not. But you can get the indicator as a standalone and how to use the indicator at $129 a month, or you will be able to. But you have to think about getting the course because then you can have the indicator for free for life. It makes more sense. But you can start with $129 a month and later on upgrade. I mean, come on. What amount of money to invest would be good for financial freedom? Depends how good you are, because you might invest 10,000, lose it all. You might invest 10,000, make it 100K, and then just invest 10,000 over and over. So there's no real answer to that. But I would say you need about 5 or 10K to start. So the first thing you need to do is make 5 or 10K, whether that's trading, whether it's whatever you're doing. And then at 10K, things get a little bit easier. And then at 100K, just gets easy. It's not easy always. Jesse's was great. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Paul, kindly write a book and sell it so people can learn. I do have a book. I've written about 6 or 7 books. The first one I wrote was Success IAO, which is Improvise, Adapt, and Overcome, which is the best book I ever wrote. Maybe the best book you'll ever read, with the stupidest title I could think of at the time. And that's all about how to make money, how to have a success mindset and all. It's on Amazon, actually. It's called Success IAO. Just Google my name, Paul Democritou, and you'll find it. Then I have a couple of sales books and marketing books in crypto, how to sell, because I was in sales all my life, sales and marketing. The Crypto Factor is just a bunch of interviews put together. Number 2 is going to be better when I get around to it, if I get around to it. And then the final book, The 5 P's of Persuasion, which is also negotiating in sales. But I'm thinking about making this course into a book. It's going to be expensive, but it might be worth it. So if you want this kind of content, like trading and learning how to wait maybe a year, maybe less, we'll see. I might pay someone to just write it for me from my course. Just give them the course and then write the thing. We'll see. But yeah, I've written a few books, man. Check Success IAO. I think that's the book to start with. Blue Collar Man says, good thing I sold all my crypto back in December. Awesome, man. Well done. Gotta know when to take profits. People, I'll start buying around coming December. Don't know if it should be coming December or around June or July after the drop, maybe August, but we'll see. Sup, Conehead. What's up, Bossy, Bossy, what's your face? You're a good man, Paul. Thank you very much, Bill. Really appreciate you. Did Puffy send you some money? No. Being richer than poor is the worst. It's funny because, a lot of people have all these success rags to riches stories. And even though I have them in between after, I was not poor. Like, I didn't grow up poor, right? I know a lot of people like saying, yeah, I was in ghettos and, I did this and I made money. No, dude, I was well off. I mean, my dad was the general manager of Global International, the biggest tour operating in the world. I was born in England. We lived in a maisonette. He bought my mother the car for the Queen's nephew's car or something. He bought it for like 7 of them in the world that were left or something. It was a Mercedes, a coupe. I still have the picture somewhere. And then we came to Greece, and yeah, a lot of things happened though, because my dad had to take a parachute job. He parachuted to sales marketing director of the Intercontinental, but we were well off. But he bought my sister a house, my other sister a house. We did different things, and a lot of things went wrong, and he got conned at some point. It's a long story. So we went from rich to poor, and then I made and went up and down. But I was when I was not spoiled because I could never do what I wanted, but I had what I wanted. So it's a very big difference because they schooled me very well when I was young. They taught me respect. They told me to bow when I speak. Like I always have everyone respect and stuff, and I help people. So I wasn't posh, if that makes sense. My dad was posh, like high class, but he was good. He was good with people. He would treat everyone the same. He was really cool. I love him. And my mother was awesome as well. The story with my parents as well is actually quite great because my dad went from Egypt when they were kicking out all the Europeans. He moved to England with 20 pounds and then started his life there and slowly made money, became a tour guide, made money. He spoke 7 languages, by the way, and then brought my family over to England. And then they made money, and then I was born, and so on, my sisters, and so on. So it's a not a rags to riches story, but my dad did it. My dad went from rags to riches, then we lost a lot, and then primarily was my fault, by the way. But then after that, I started making money, and it's a long story, short, whatever. Bro, I caught you last video, and I still put a little in alt in the morning. Nice, man. Just to justify sin holders were going up during this capitulation. Okay, M2 coming. Okay, bro, what's up with the stream settings? Can't minimize and listen. The stream pauses. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. This is like whatchamacallit. It's on my phone. It's on my mobile phone. So I don't know what's up. Probably because it's the short format, so it's a bit different. Not the setting, that's on me. I just realized it's streaming in the short. Yeah, there you go. It's in the short section. God bless you for honesty. Okay, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Love you all. Please hit that like button. Hope you enjoyed this live stream. Sheba says, "Is Ponke good money to invest?" Nope, not now, not right now. It might make you profit, but it's totally by luck. I wouldn't go in anything except high caps right now. Anyway, love you all. Take care. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.